Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Paradigm Shift in Educational Comedy. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. You know, we've really got it backwards, don't we? There should be one day a year in which everybody can hold absolute utter contempt, and then we can be thankful the other 364 days of the year. Imagine what kind of world that would be if we lived in a society that instead of teaching us to piss and moan and bitch and complain about everything and see the negative side of everything, oh man, got screwed by the IRS again. Oh man, hit a bad bit of traffic on the way home. Oh man, stubbed my fucking toe when I got up out of bed. We're taught to complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. And don't get me wrong, the things that suck, they do suck. I'm not trying to say, oh, well, pretend that the things that suck don't suck because, we've got to keep a positive attitude. I'm not suggesting anybody do the political correctness thing. I'm just saying, where is the focus of, like, our attitude overall as a whole? Imagine if we lived in a world where we saw opportunity instead of burden. Like, yeah, well, car payment got in late, and there was a little bit of a late fee there, and that really sucked, and I don't like that. But, there's so many other things to be thankful for. Thankful that I have a roof over my head and that I'm not freaking homeless. Thankful that I have food to eat on Thanksgiving or any other day for that matter. Thankful for the friends that you have that haven't been backstabbers, thankful for the family that you have that equally hasn't been backstabbers. We can acknowledge the negative. It's actually a very negative thing to do to not acknowledge the negative. We can acknowledge the negative, but what are we going to allow to rule over us? You know what I mean? All these so-called positive people with so-called positive attitudes, when they completely shun the dark and ignore the negative, they're doing a very negative, dark thing because they're just bottling up all their frustrations, and instead of facing their emotions and clearing their paradigms and owning themselves, they just get like all neurotic and end up being the opposite. So imagine a world that was based on thankfulness, and instead of running towards pleasure and running away from fear, instead of having 50% of our thought processes firmly fixed in regretting the past and the other 50%, firmly fixed in worrying about and anticipating the future. Imagine if we were actually focused in the now, because the now is where anything gets done. So imagine if we lived in a world like that, where we were actually thankful the whole year. I mean, can you imagine how different of a world it would be? How different of a focus that would be? People would be saying, instead of anti-Trump people setting fires all over the place, and whenever they'd be saying, we think Trump's a scumbag, but hey, we're the many, he's the few. We can create positive change on our own. We can be nice to our neighbors. We can get together and work together to solve problems. And we don't need babysitters to do everything for us. We're grown-ups in theory. We can do things ourselves, and we can create positive change and be thankful for that positive change, and allow being thankful to inspire even more positive change and make this world even better. So yeah, imagine what being thankful 365 days, or even 364 or 363 could possibly do. Now, you can't force the whole world to be thankful for that period of time, but I challenge you to be thankful for that period of time. How about it? When things suck, acknowledge they suck. Feel the suck of them, but don't let it dominate you. Don't let it rule you. Be like, well, that sucks, but, that happens sometimes. I'm going to have a positive attitude about it. You know, manure can grow my garden. It's manure, it's shitty, it stinks, it's yucky. I don't really want to roll around in it like society's taught me to do. So just going to grow a garden with it. So think about that one. Instead of taking today as being the one day where you're not all focused on how much you hate yourself and hate your life and hate the world and hate everything, you know, why not face your feelings for the rest of the year and realize that, yeah, you know, there are things that suck, but there's good things too. And we can allow the things that don't suck, to give us confidence to face the things that do suck, so that we can turn the sucky things into more positive, sane outcomes instead of all this political correctness and butthurt and safe space and people getting easily offended by posts on Facebook because they're just looking to lash out, because they lash at themselves inward, they lash at themselves outward, they feel hopeless and miserable. So yeah, Thanksgiving is a day where most people pretend to be happy, but really inside they got a lot of self-loathing going on. So you might want to look inward at yourself, face all that shit, and figure out a way to see opportunity instead of burden. To go, yeah, well, you know, that does suck, but we can make something good out of this. And hey, look on the bright side. I'm not dead. I have a roof over my head. I've got food. Count your blessings. Not just one day a year, but all 365. I dare you. Do it. Peace out. Happy Thanksgiving every fucking day.